Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're embarking on a profound journey into the mind and heart of one of America's most essential public intellectuals, Dr. Cornel West. He's more than just a philosopher. He's a prophet in the truest sense of the word. Someone who speaks truth to power, who challenges our comfort, and who constantly calls us to reckon with the moral and ethical dimensions of our existence. Dr. West is a force of nature, a brilliant academic, a tireless activist, and a deeply spiritual voice in a world often starved for genuine moral leadership. His words cut through the noise, demanding that we think critically, feel deeply, and act justly, especially when it comes to the most vulnerable among us. In a time of profound division, accelerating inequality, and a palpable sense of political and social fragmentation, his insights offer not just critique, but a crucial roadmap for genuine progress. He forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about power, privilege, and the very soul of our society. And for decades, one particular quote of his has resonated with me and countless others as a succinct yet incredibly powerful summation of his entire philosophy. It's a quote that, I believe, holds the absolute key to understanding what real, transformative leadership looks like, what genuine societal change demands, and what it truly means to be a decent human being in a world that often seems to reward the opposite.
The quote is this, and you've probably heard it before, but let its depth sink in. You can't lead the people if you don't love the people. You can't save the people if you don't serve the people. Simple words, right? Almost deceptively so. Yet, like so much of Dr. West's brilliance, their simplicity hides a profound, almost revolutionary truth. In a world often dominated by self-interest, by leaders who seem more concerned with personal gain or power grabs than public good, and by a disturbing, chilling detachment from the daily struggles of everyday people, this quote stands as a powerful indictment of the status quo. It's a clarion call against transactional politics and an ethic of ruthless competition. But more than just an indictment, it offers a hopeful, actionable blueprint for a better way forward, a path built on empathy, humility, genuine connection, and a deep sense of moral purpose. We're going to unpack each vital part of this statement. We'll explore its historical roots, its contemporary relevance in our incredibly complex modern society, and what it truly means to lead, to love, to save, and to serve in a meaningful, transformative way. We'll delve into how these principles manifest, not just in grand political movements or on the world stage, but in our everyday lives, in our communities, and even in our personal relationships. Because ultimately, Dr. West's message isn't just for politicians or activists, it's a profound call to conscience for all of us.
What exactly does Dr. West mean by love here? He's certainly not talking about a superficial, sentimental affection. Not the kind of romantic love we often associate with movies, or even the conditional love we sometimes see in familial bonds. No, he's talking about something far deeper, far more radical, far more challenging. An empathetic, unwavering, and unconditional love. This is what he often describes using the Greek concept of agape. Agape is not about warm, fuzzy feelings. It's about selfless concern for the well-being of others. It's a benevolent regard for one's fellow human beings, regardless of their background, their beliefs, their social status, or even their actions towards you. It's a love that is fundamentally justice-seeking, a love that compels you to fight for the dignity and flourishing of every individual, particularly those who are marginalized, oppressed, or voiceless. It's a love that acknowledges our shared humanity, recognizing that the suffering of one is, in some profound way, the suffering of us all. This kind of love demands courage, vulnerability, and an unwavering commitment to the common good, even when it's inconvenient or costly.
Think about it. True leadership isn't about control, domination, or even just efficient management. It's about inspiration, guidance, and empowering others to reach their full potential, both individually and collectively. How can you genuinely inspire someone? How can you truly guide them towards a better future if you don't deeply, fundamentally care about their struggles, their aspirations, their very humanity? What if you see them as mere statistics, as cogs in a machine, as means to an end, or even as inconvenient obstacles to your own power or agenda? Without this radical agape love, leadership devolves into something cold, calculating, and ultimately destructive. It becomes manipulation, coercion, or mere transactional management, where people are simply resources to be exploited or managed. Leaders who lack agape love for the people they lead often prioritize profit over human dignity, power over justice, and their own ego over the needs of the community. This tragic absence of love inevitably leads to policies and decisions that create profound inequality, foster systemic injustice, and ultimately benefit the powerful few at the devastating expense of the vulnerable many. We see this play out constantly, don't we? In political decisions that hurt the poor, in corporate practices that exploit labor, in social structures that perpetuate prejudice. The lack of love, the lack of agape, is at the root of so much human suffering. History is replete with luminous examples of leaders whose profound impact stemmed directly from their deep, abiding love for their people. Beyond Martin Luther King Jr., whose campaigns for civil rights were undeniably born from a profound agape love for the dignity and freedom of Black Americans, and indeed for all humanity, consider Mahatma Gandhi. His nonviolent resistance movement in India, which liberated a nation, was rooted in a profound love for his people's freedom, expressed through radical empathy, a willingness to suffer alongside them, and an unshakable belief in the power of truth and love over violence. Or think of Nelson Mandela, who, despite decades of brutal imprisonment under apartheid, emerged from prison not with bitterness or a desire for revenge, but with an incredible spirit of reconciliation and an unwavering commitment to building a unified, democratic South Africa for all its citizens, Black and white. This was a testament to his profound love for his fractured nation. These leaders understood that empathy isn't a weakness, it's the ultimate source of moral authority and true, lasting strength. Their leadership wasn't just effective in achieving political goals, it was transformative on a spiritual, moral, and societal level, precisely because it was rooted in this deep, abiding, and self-sacrificing love. Conversely, look at leaders throughout history who have caused immense suffering.
From tyrannical dictators like Hitler or Stalin, who saw their populations as mere tools for their ideological ambitions, to modern corporate executives whose pursuit of profit at any cost devastates communities and the environment. Often, their downfall, and more importantly, the misery they inflict, can be traced back to a profound lack of love, a narcissistic focus on their own power, wealth, and glory, and a chilling willingness to sacrifice human lives and well-being for their own narrow agenda. Love, in Dr. West's framework, is not merely a desirable trait. It is the essential moral compass of leadership. It ensures that decisions are made with compassion, justice, and the common good at heart, rather than fear, greed, or unchecked ego. Without love, leadership is a hollow shell, dangerous and ultimately unsustainable. Here, saving isn't about some messianic figure swooping in to rescue a helpless populace from on high like a superhero. It's not about a single, grand, miraculous intervention. Instead, it's about participating in the ongoing, often gritty, and never-ending struggle for liberation, for justice, for human dignity, and for a more equitable society. It's about contributing to the arduous work of dismantling oppressive systems and building truly democratic and compassionate ones. And that participation, according to Dr. West, must be rooted in concrete, active, and relentless service. It's about being an active agent in positive change, not a passive observer or a distant benefactor. It means recognizing that saving isn't a destination, but a continuous process, a fight that requires sustained engagement and solidarity. Service, in this context, means actively working on behalf of the people, especially the most vulnerable, the most marginalized, and the most voiceless. It means getting your hands dirty. It means being on the ground, truly listening to their stories, understanding their unique needs, amplifying their voices, and tirelessly advocating for their well-being and their rights. It's not about grand gestures from an ivory tower or token acts of charity that, while well-intentioned, often maintain the very power structures they purport to help. It's about rolling up your sleeves and engaging in the messy, often difficult, and frequently unrecognized work of social change. Think about it. How can you truly address the systemic issues plaguing a community? Be it chronic poverty, lack of access to quality healthcare, educational disparities, or environmental injustice, if you're not immersed in that community, listening to their experiences, understanding their realities firsthand, and working alongside them. Service is about solidarity, not just sympathy. It's about shared struggle, not just providing aid from a distance. It's about recognizing that real change comes from being interwoven with the fabric of the community you seek to serve, understanding its pulse, its pain, and its resilience. Consider the countless unsung heroes who truly save people every single day through their dedicated service. These aren't necessarily presidents, senators, or celebrities. They are the tireless community organizers fighting for affordable housing in their neighborhoods, often facing resistance and burnout, but persisting nonetheless. They are the compassionate legal aid workers advocating for the disenfranchised in overloaded courtrooms, ensuring basic rights are upheld. They are the dedicated teachers pouring their hearts and souls into educating the next generation in underfunded public schools despite immense challenges. They are the brave healthcare workers on the front lines of public health crises, risking their own well-being to care for others. They are the local activists demanding environmental justice, ensuring that marginalized communities don't bear the brunt of pollution. These are the people who truly embody Dr. West's call to service. They don't seek personal glory or material gain. They seek justice, liberation, and tangible improvements in the lives of others. Their actions, often small and localized, but cumulative and persistent, chip away at injustice and, slowly but surely, build a more humane and just world. Their power comes from their proximity to the pain, their commitment to the struggle, and their unwavering belief in the inherent dignity of those they serve. Dr. West often emphasizes the profound importance of being on the ground, truly connecting with those who are suffering and struggling, not just intellectually, but emotionally and physically. This isn't just about charity, which can sometimes inadvertently create a power dynamic where the giver is elevated and the receiver is diminished. It's about solidarity. It's about recognizing that our liberation is intertwined, that none of us are truly free until all of us are free, and that true, lasting progress comes from collective action driven by a spirit of selfless service. When we serve, we acknowledge our profound interconnectedness and our shared responsibility to uplift one another, moving beyond individualistic notions of success and embracing a collective vision of human flourishing. It's a recognition that service is not something we do for others, but something we do with and as part of others, in a shared journey towards a more just world. You simply can't genuinely, consistently, and selflessly serve without a foundational, deep-seated agape love for humanity, for the very people you are serving. That radical love is what compels you to act, to sacrifice your time and energy, to persevere in the face of adversity, setbacks, and cynicism. It's what keeps you going when the work is hard, when progress seems agonizingly slow, and when the opposition feels overwhelming. This love provides the moral conviction, the emotional resilience, and the relentless drive required for sustained engagement in the struggle for justice. And here's the beautiful paradox. As you serve, as you engage with people's real struggles, as you witness their resilience, their courage, their hopes, and their shared humanity, your love for them only grows. It's a reciprocal process. The more you serve, the more deeply you understand and appreciate the people you are serving, and the more that understanding fosters an even greater love. It's a self-reinforcing, virtuous cycle. Love inspires service, and service deepens and strengthens love. This is the essence of what Dr. West is teaching us about genuine, transformative leadership. It's not about isolated acts of compassion or strategic moves for power. True leadership, therefore, isn't about personal gain, public recognition, or the accumulation of power. It's about a profound, unwavering commitment to the well-being of others, expressed through both a loving heart and a serving hand. Without love, service can become merely a duty or a transactional act lacking soul. Without service, love can remain abstract, never translating into tangible action. They are inextricably linked, each feeding the other, creating a powerful engine for change. It's not just a nice idea, but a foundational truth for meaningful, lasting change. First, and perhaps most obviously, we must demand this kind of leadership from our elected officials and public figures. We need to look beyond charisma, slick campaigns, and empty promises. We must ask probing questions. Do they truly love the people they claim to represent? Or are they serving corporate interests, personal ambition, or their own ideological echo chambers? Are they genuinely serving the interests of the many, or just the powerful few who fund their campaigns and lobby on their behalf? We must hold them accountable to these profound moral standards, not just their policy positions. We must scrutinize their actions, not just their words, and ask, are they leading with love? Are they serving the people? If the answer is no, then we have a moral obligation to seek alternatives. Second, and perhaps even more importantly, we must embody this ethos in our own lives, regardless of our position or influence. We don't have to be a president, a CEO, or a renowned activist to lead with love and serve with compassion. Every single one of us has the inherent capacity to be a leader in our communities, in our families, in our workplaces, and in our social circles. Think about it. It could be mentoring a young person in your neighborhood, offering your time at a local homeless shelter, passionately advocating for a cause you deeply believe in, offering support to a struggling friend or neighbor, or simply treating every single person you encounter with dignity, respect, and empathy, regardless of their background, their beliefs, or their current situation. These are all profound acts of love and service that, though seemingly small, contribute immensely to the collective good. Dr. West reminds us that true revolutionary transformation doesn't just happen from the top down. It blossoms from the ground up, fueled by the radical love and selfless service of ordinary people doing extraordinary, often unrecognized things. It's about building a better world, one act of love and service at a time, creating ripples that eventually become waves of change. You can't lead the people if you don't love the people. You can't save the people if you don't serve the people. These aren't just profound words to be admired from afar. They are a direct, urgent call to action for each of us. A call to cultivate radical, unwavering love in our hearts, to commit ourselves to selfless, tangible service in our daily lives, and to demand true, compassionate, and justice-oriented leadership from those in positions of power. It's a blueprint for a more humane, more equitable, and more just future. What do you think about Dr. Cornel West's powerful quote? How do these principles of love and service resonate with you? And how do you see them shaping leadership in your own life, your community, or in the wider world? I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. And if you found this deep dive insightful and thought-provoking, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might benefit from this message, and subscribe for more conversations that explore the ideas that truly shape our world. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.